everyone, and welcome back to the Tea with Honey podcast. This is Mr. Goodboy, and I am joined by Teddy. Teddy, how are you? How have you been this week? Welcome
I've
to my
been good.
podcast.
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. No, I don't know. It's been a week. I don't know if it's been a good week or a bad week. It's just been kind of like it's been a week of many highs and lows, I will say.
Yep. Right
We've
there
had,
with
yeah. And I mean, like, obviously, like, we are married, we live together. You're experiencing the same emotions and vibes that I am. We live in the same house. But yeah, it's been a week of like a lot of ups and downs for me. So, what about you? How's your week been?
you. I feel like the down we share the down, the thing that was not
Mm-hmm.
great, but like the weather's getting warmer, so
True.
I kind of feel like my emotions track with like a plant. Like,
Yeah.
the trees around here are starting to get their leaves. I'm starting to get my leaves, so
Oh.
that's been really nice. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
it's
No.
nice. Like, the cherry trees are getting their little flowers and the hyacinths are out of the ground and
Mm-hmm.
the wild daffodils are blooming. So, I mean, what was it, like 80 degrees today? So,
No,
I'm
totally.
happy.
I
I'm
agree.
happy.
I think that, yeah, so just we got some like sad vet news from Miles, just we're stuff that we are gonna have to do some more looking into. More vet appointments. We're just gonna have to look into some more stuff with Miles. And for anyone who's listening, like if you watch the stream or if you just listen to the podcast, like you know how much my dogs mean to me. And like Miles genuinely is my child because I don't have children. Miles is my child. And so it's like any inkling of something maybe being wrong with him, I fly off the handle emotionally. I'm just like a
Yeah.
nervous wreck. I'm just a disaster. And I think that there's a lot of people out there who can relate to that and who have the exact same feelings about their pets. And so I'm sure they can relate. So all that to say, he's getting older and we got a blood test back that we didn't like the looks of, and we're gonna have to go in for some more testing and to see what could be causing the numbers that we got back. So I think like that has been the kind of like anchor bringing us down this week in terms of vibes. Like we're sad, we're scared, but you're right. The weather is so helpful. Like I truly think that like even in the saddest of just, I'm like sad, I'm upset, I'm nervous, I'm scared, being able to like sit outside on the back porch and get fresh air and feel the sunshine on my face truly does make things feel better and less like just full of dread,
Yeah. And I don't want it to sound like, obviously this is upsetting me too, but like I feel like when we have these kinds of situations, they don't happen often. I don't like bury my emotions, but I find a way to like just remind myself that like it was just a test and we still have to get more information and
Mhm.
just maintaining like a positive outlook because like we don't know right now,
And
So,
yeah.
and that's it. And so I'm just holding on to that and then,
Holding on. Yeah.
you know,
And I'm the spiraler. I'm like,
yeah,
I think in life, I really am. I do feel like in life, I am kind of a glass half full person. I do think like if we take a big old step back, I think I'm pretty much a glass half full person.
You are the glass half full. I'm the glass half empty.
Yes.
But with these kind of scary moments where
Yes.
it's like buckle down, I think we switch.
1,000%. I was going to say the exact same thing. Yes. I think like I certainly more optimistic. You may be a little bit more pessimistic just on like an everyday basis. But in situations like this, like high emotional situations, I tank and but I think that's good. Like we have that balance where like then you can help pick me up because God knows I need it. So I think it's good. Obviously, it's a good balance.
I get sad in weird moments, like driving home from the office, like it's just weird moments. But then when I'm with everybody, with you and the boys, it's like, oh, we're good. Pokopia just came out. What's the issue?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of like the weird down of the week, but I've had a couple of highs. That was like certainly my lowest pit of the week, but I had a couple of fun things happen this week. So one, this is going to drive you absolutely up a wall. And I know you're going to be so annoyed, but I obviously have been doing my Duolingo for 3 years now. I'm like on like 1,000 80-day streak or something, like 1,080 days. It's been forever that I've been doing this
I'm surprised
Duolingo
they
thing.
still count. Does it go beyond 1,000? It does?
Yeah.
And it'll just restart?
No.
No?
I
Okay.
would rage. So I have been doing my Duolingo for like a long time. And I recently have gotten a couple of TikToks that are like, listen to this if you are learning French. And it's like people speaking French and trying to see if you are learning, it's like a helpful exercise for like learning and trying to
Like,
understand
what can you
and like
pick up on if you hear
comprehension
this?
and
Or does
stuff.
it just sound like
Exactly.
noise?
Right. And so it's kind of a couple of, some of them are like for people who are learning French and like exercises to try to pick up on and understand and like what is the word for milk? What is the milk? That sort of thing.
So
But
how'd you
then
do? Did you pass the test?
yeah, on those ones I'm doing pretty good. But then and these are just popping up. I think it's because I'm watching them and like
Yeah.
actually watching them all the way through. It's changing my algorithm a little bit. And so I keep getting more of them. But because I'm doing that, I'm also getting some just like regular like TikToks that are like French. So it's like just people like what I'm wearing today, like in French. And it's so kind of fun to like, even then, like I definitely don't understand everything, but with the captions on, I can pick up on a lot more than
I think that's the most important thing when it comes to
Yeah.
learning another language. Coming from a person who's barely learned any other languages, I mean, I've learned stuff in school, but like the way that you're taught in school and like the way that you learn on these apps, I think is a lot different than
immersing yourself.
how it functions, right? Like there's
Yeah.
slang, there's
Mm-hmm.
Things that come in and out of vogue in terms of speech. So like you just kind of roll with the punches. And I think if you can grasp half of it, like a noun, a verb,
1,000%.
and then you can read a person's facial expression,
You can kind of like
communicating.
You can kind of put it together and be like,
Yeah,
okay,
like,
well, I don't
it's-
really know what those two words mean,
yeah.
but like but I do know that word. And so like, and I know that this is kind of what we're talking about. So no, totally.
Honestly, I think we need to go to France and you need to just surprise me. We need to just go out. You need to order all the food. You need to like do all the things. And then I'll just be a little passenger princess.
I know. Well, and the reason I said that you were going to hate this is just because like French is not your favorite language to listen to.
Yeah.
And now I have like French TikToks popping up and like you have to listen to my TikToks all the time as I'm just like scrolling. And now all of a sudden you're going to have like French ones in the background and you're going to be like, oh my God.
It's just the way it sounds. It's so jarring to the, English, but then
It's
also
very, like,
I've
nasal.
watched
Yeah.
videos where people make videos for English speakers where they're not real words that they're using, but they mimic the sound patterns
The
and stuff. And I'm
cadence
like,
and
wow, that's
stuff,
harsh
yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
I can't really hate, but yeah, it's not.
I know. But yeah, so that is kind of fun. That's just like a fun part of my week that like I wasn't expecting was these like French TikToks being worked into my algorithm. And so I'm kind of liking that. And I'm kind of hoping that I can just kind of like continue on that and learn from that on top of doing my Duolingo because it feels more like a real world application,
Yeah, that's cool.
And then another peak, this is the second peak I have of my week. This is the second and certainly not like the last, but like the last I'm going to talk about. And you're actually included in this one. We got the Amiibo card panel collection. I don't even know what to like call it.
Oh, yeah.
Up and running in Twitch.
It's true,
And that was
yes.
kind of like a baby of yours, like a project of yours that you've been working on for forever.
Yeah, like
and so I'm
it's
like
just over 3
really,
years.
Yeah, I'm like so excited to see that up and running.
Yeah. I'm happy to see it too. When I first envisioned this process, it was like, 3 years ago. It was just over 3 years ago. And like to see it in the wild now where people are using it and like giving me feedback and seeing it like not fall flat on its face just in terms of it operating. I was like, this is pretty cool. Like what a milestone. But it was, I told you this, like when I kind of made the changeover from it all being hosted on your computer with like Mix It Up and all the crazy stuff in there to make that work to now where it is now just being on Twitch. It was, it was kind of sad. I was like,
No.
I have to like turn all these toggles off for these hundreds and hundreds of different things that made all that thing work before. And I'm like, I guess that's it. See you later.
It is. It's kind of sad. It's like innovation is fun and growing is fun and like, everything is like that, but it's it's sad to see like old processes go. It's old.
Yeah.
It's because it's nostalgic. It's where, it's fun to look back on like where you started and where you came from. And I just think that's like something that was like you and I both spent a lot of time working on when I started streaming.
It was your idea, and then you put me to work on it, and
Yeah.
I think it took weeks for that to get up the way it
Oh,
was,
yeah.
how we had it.
And it was like weeks, but it was like hours and hours and hours
Yeah,
every
it was
single
like
day.
finish work Friday, spend 2 full days on the weekend working on it.
Mhm.
Where my eyes are burning and they're dry. I have Kroger eyes. I can't see anything.
I think you need to explain what Kroger eyes is. It's a part of your
Kroger.
vocabulary, but most people don't know what that means.
Yeah, I have unusually dry eyes, not diagnosed. I should probably see somebody about this. But anyway, regardless, I just have this weird thing where sometimes when I go into like a big warehouse type building, like a Kroger or a Walmart
like a box
or
store. Yeah.
like a box store, for some reason, just the way the air circulates in there and the type of lights they use and like the distances you're looking, for some reason my eyes get so dry. They get so dry that I can't even keep my eyes open. I have to like close my eyes and sort of roll my eyes around to get them wet. It's weird, but
And you always complain
Kroger
to me.
eyes.
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
Kroger eyes.
Well,
oh,
where
I've
this
got
came
Kroger
from,
eyes.
when we first started dating, we would go to Kroger to get some groceries,
Mhm.
and it was happening in there, and I didn't know what else to call it. I was like,
So-
these Kroger eyes are back, and so that is how we coined that.
You didn't start, Nate. You never called it Kroger eyes before we started dating.
No, I just,
Oh,
but we were
okay.
together, and
Okay.
I was just, I just kept rubbing my eyes, and I was uncomfortable. So I felt like I had to explain what was going on. I was like, I
Yeah.
have Kroger eyes right now. Is there something about
And
being
now
in this
that's-
place in this kind of
yeah.
building? So now, whenever I say I have Kroger eyes, you know exactly what
I know
I'm feeling.
exactly what you mean. Yeah, your
Yeah.
eyes are dry. So just for context, so everyone knows what Kroger eyes means, because that was
It's important.
important. But yeah, so that's all that to say, the Amiibo card thing, I'm really excited about it. I'm glad it's up and running. It is sad to see stuff go. Like, can you imagine if we were to ever do like a new like Mellow Teddy like image, like my profile picture,
Yeah, that's
like that's hard to think about. Like change happens. That's normal. Like it should probably someday, but I don't know. I just hold on to stuff so near and dear to my heart that it'd be hard for me to say goodbye, I think. And I'm
Yeah,
also
we're
not
also
good for change.
I was gonna say, we're also super thoughtful with change. We don't just kind of change things willy nilly. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of thought that goes into it. Like, is this gonna ruin everything? No,
know.
okay, let's
Oh
do
my
it. 3 years later,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's not an easy decision usually for us for those kinds of things. So,
No.
profile
definitely not.
picture is staying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not going to change it. But I'm just saying, like, that's another thing
Yeah, I
that's
know,
like,
I know.
like, this is just a background process, Like, turning off those things is a background thing. So it's, like, kind of sad for us, but, like, no one else is really going to know, It's not, I remember sitting down on my iPad and designing the, like, border for the existing, like, the old retired Amiibo card collection. And I
Mhm.
remember putting little, like, Miles and Roni faces on it, and then, like, the little Mellow Teddy QR code. And I was so proud of
Yeah.
myself then. But I remember sitting on my iPad and doing that. I was sitting on the bed on my iPad doing that while you were at the desk working on the Amiibo cards. And so it's like fun to look back. And this is like a background process that we're changing, like a profile photo. That would be huge. No plans on changing that, but
Getting
but yeah,
into the
that
weeds
was
here.
that was the I know. I go you listen.
Yeah.
This is the podcast.
I don't want
This
to
is
bore
what
them with like
happens.
the operation side of things. That's
We go off on tangents. No.
Okay, that's fine. I accept it.
Yeah, you're stepping into the territory. Okay, so how has your week been? What are some like highs, lows? What have you been doing this week that has been like fun and interesting for you?
I mean, I'm a busy person in general, just with work, but
Mm-hmm.
for me, like I said, it's all the weather change. So I
Yeah.
guess I have to bring this up because the last time I was on here a year ago, I said that I didn't really think that I had that many hobbies. And I heard all the feedback of like,
You're wrong.
yes, you do. And I thought about it, and I do have hobbies. But they're like really deep interests mostly. So like right now with the seasons changing, like there's a lot of new birds coming back. And like I said, it's pretty to look outside again, and it feels nice to be outside. So I'm just busy with work. Other than that, I've made the executive decision in the house that we have to plant new grass seed because our
Mm-hmm.
backyard is a mud pit, and it's been that way for the last couple of years because we play so much ball with the boys, and they make these cut turns. And when we first got this house, they put sod down that just, I'm convinced they just laid it on top of trash because I'm constantly picking glass out of the ground and
Mm-hmm.
plastic. And so the sod died. And then it's just been this like festering mess where every time it rains, it's muddy paws in the house for like 5 days straight. So
It's like if it
we,
rains, we can't play ball for like 3 days until
yeah, and
the
it stinks because
yard
I don't
dries.
want to have that happen. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not trying to create some like pristine, golf course lawn, but I've got the hose. I've got like 4 hoses run along the fences right now, and I've got like my timers going, and blah blah blah. Hopefully, in the next few weeks here, we have some nice green grass, and we can enjoy this spring weather as it comes in. So
I'm
that's
hoping
my
so.
life. And then yeah, when did the extension go live? That was last week. So yeah, I guess that was part of my week too. That was another exciting thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was
that's
a
my
week
week.
ago. I think a week ago today.
Yeah, and then we're here at the weekend, so I'm
We're at
happy
the
about
weekend.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's Friday. Um, so let's move on into hobbies. I would like to say I, hinted to everyone in stream, all of the buddies in stream, that you were going to be filling in for Mandi this week,
Hmm.
because she's on vacation. And I said, does anybody have any topics that you would like to hear my husband discuss? And the consensus was birds, bees, and trees. Now, it's like the birds and the bees. Of course,
I
I
was
heard
about to
that,
say
and I'm
that's
like,
half.
mm,
That's half of something we're not going to talk about.
no.
I think you told me this, and I kind of looked at you and I said, like, well, what am I going to talk about? Like the anatomy of these animals? What do we?
I don't know. I think I
Yeah,
think I let me. I can ask some questions.
yeah.
So
Fire away, speed
so
round.
I live with you. I know your plans. Well, some of them. You have been working on clearing out a space in our yard
Hmm.
for a garden.
Yeah,
Do
I
you?
actually.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was your question?
I was just going to say, do you have plans to actually build the garden beds? What fruits and veggies are you hoping to plant in there? What's the timeline of that look like?
Well, I still have to clear the land and terraform it. I want to do this area that you're talking about as a raised garden bed.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing fancy. Like I don't want to stain the wood or make it because it's not going to last. I don't think so. And it's the first time I've done it, so just want to do something basic, above ground, mostly vegetables. Uh, but the clearing of the land is really not the priority right now. We have to go and we have to get these seeds and we have to get those planted because it's early March and it doesn't look like we're getting
Mm,
any spring. So I don't want to lose grow time. We could also just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and pick up, little plants, but the stock there is it's usually like
yeah.
enjoy your 800 varieties of tomatoes. Like I kind of want to get some interesting stuff. So I was hoping tomorrow we could go to the nursery here and get some, interesting vegetables, mostly vegetables. Fruit would be nice, but I feel
What are you
like
thinking? Veggie wise, what are you thinking? Like
the
I
core
I
tomatoes,
request
cucumber. Yeah,
tomatoes,
of course.
cukes.
Right. Those are definites.
Yeah.
I think strawberries could be fun because of the way they
Strawberries would be real
grow.
fun.
You know what I mean? Like we could trellis them up, and that could be a kind of cool thing to look at. Um, I think green beans would be good. They're super easy and they fruit really prolifically. So, the tough part is whenever I think about growing a garden in the spring, I like am disconnected from the product it makes, right? Like you grow all these vegetables and then you just have this surplus of stuff that you're not going to use. So I don't want to just grow a bunch of stuff and then find out that we have a whole bunch of vegetables that we're not going to use. I'd
Mm-hmm.
prefer to just figure out like what the core things are that we could actually snack on raw or would be really easy to cook and then just focus on those. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really open to whatever. For me, the process is the fun part. Like if you say, here's the 10 that I want to grow, then great. There's the 10 we're going to grow. Cause
Yeah.
for me, I just enjoy getting out there and getting dirty and tending to things and sitting there and staring at bugs and
You just like
birds
being
and
able to check in on the things that
yeah,
you
like
like.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You like do it and then you like get this like super excited like high when you get home and you're like, "Oh, let me check on my things."
Yeah, like today I came home and I just immediately stuck my finger in the ground where the grass seed is to make sure that the moisture levels are good. So
Yeah.
It's a process. I
It's a
enjoy the
process.
process.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's good. Okay. So garden plans sounding good, looking good. Birds. We're moving on to birds.
Okay.
What
Birds.
your favorite bird? Tufted titmouse.
This is yeah, tough to titmouse, of course, but like then we gotta figure out like for what, right? The way it sounds, the way it
Oh, for what?
looks, the way it behaves. Because, this time of year, American Robin is a good contender. They got a nice orange belly, they have that little whimsical twitter that they do. Eastern Bluebird is another good one. I mean, you saw one of those last week. Remember when I pointed it out and I said
Yeah, I
this has
do.
never been in
She's
our
like,
yard
come here,
because
hurry.
yeah, they like big open areas, and all of a sudden this Eastern Bluebird comes in. So that was neat. Yeah, that's almost an impossible question for me. I think it changes constantly.
Okay.
I did see a red-headed woodpecker last week for the first time, and I saw one again today. So that was really neat.
Okay. So the spring, I mean, when do you think you really got into bird watching? It was within the past year. Was it like last summer, last fall?
That was a couple years ago, I think.
Was it? Not as
Yeah, yeah.
seriously as you do now.
I think it's been a couple years. I
Has
really
it?
do. Yeah.
Okay.
I
I was
mean,
gonna
I can
say,
go back
because
and look at my Merlin Bird ID app and see how many things I've
yeah.
cataloged and when I started using that. That's probably when I started.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure.
and I was thinking about this before. It's like, well, why is this stuff so interesting? Honestly, it feels like Pokemon a little bit, right? When I used to
Yeah.
play Pokemon as a kid, you get this Pokedex, and then you're tasked with this mission of like completing a Pokedex and finding everything and catching everything. That's what it feels like with birds, right? Like you never know what you're going to get. You never know what's going to turn up. And so
And you've
I
got
just enjoy
like
it from
more
that lens.
common birds and then more
Yeah.
rare birds. And when you see a
Yeah,
rare one, you're
exactly.
like, I just saw a really rare one.
And I'm at the point where when I sit in the backyard and I'm just listening, I don't even have to be looking. I can just sit and listen and I can just hear things that I've never heard. And I can just kind of look in that direction and start to be like, hey, that actually is something I have not seen before. That's happened a couple times recently. So,
Yeah. I think birds are I like birds. Birds aren't my thing, obviously. But I would like to say that I properly identified my first bird. Other than like a cardinal,
yeah, those are easy.
Those are easy. And like a robin too, and like a house finch, because we have those. But like I properly identified a red shoulder hawk,
Yep.
and
They're
I said it's because its armpits were kind of like rust colored.
little rust colored. And then the sound is a dead giveaway too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. It was the sound like that made me look up. Was like because I heard the like really aggressive hawk noise, and that's what made me look up. And then I said, "Ooh, what kind of hawk is that?"
Yeah. Also, the other thing, just in general with like plants, birds, trees, whatever, all this nature stuff, I just am fascinated by ecology at the system level. Like, I love how all of these things interplay, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
nature has patterns. And if you can read those patterns, then you can kind of like appreciate what's around you more. And so, I feel like over the last few years, I've become really in tune with those patterns. Not like on a scientific level, but like just like kind of what I was talking about at the start of this. Like every year you see the same things bloom, and then when the things bloom, guess what? The same pollinators come out, and then like the way that they behave and what they eat informs what might happen in this other area of the forest. So like ecology and just nature as an ecosystem or a system is really interesting to me. So right
Yeah.
now it's going nuts because the weather's warm, so all the birds are going crazy. There's bugs out now. There's a lot of stuff to look at. I love it.
Yeah, you sure do. Can you sorry, cough. Can you give us an update on the beehive in the backyard? I feel like
Beehive's good.
obviously I've seen the beehive. I know about it, but like from your perspective, how are the bees doing? What's like the year look like with the bees? What are your like plans for the bees for the rest of the year? How are they doing now?
I mean, I will say this is the strongest I've ever had a beehive coming out of winter. I feel like what usually happens is I either undermanage or overmanage the hive, and then that sort of affects its health and quality going into winter. But I hit all the milestones last year with treating for mites and putting in beetle traps and like checking in just enough to make sure that things are good, but staying out enough to not roll the queen or
And roll the queen means what?
frustrate like when you pull out a frame of honey you physically, pinch the queen and kill her.
Okay.
So there's all these risks that happen every time you go into the hive. So like having an actual reason to go in versus just wanting to see them.
It's like finding a balance, between like
Yeah, exactly.
helping
So
maintain them and also like leaving them be to do their
yeah.
business.
And that's not really the issues that I've had in the past. Like I've never done that, but for me, it's always just been sort of like this perspective that, well, bees have been around forever, so I shouldn't really have to do much and they're going to figure it out. But that's not really the case because we're putting them in these unnatural structures. So it does pay to check in to make sure they have enough pollen and honey and all the things that they need to drive the engine. And so I was calling our bee store probably every month last year, like, hey, here's what I'm seeing. What's your feedback? Do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? And then I was just taking feedback from the pros and then just implementing it in this hive. So all that to say, I am very excited to see what this hive does this year. I think we could get dozens and dozens of pounds of honey.
Wow.
They're already, exploding the population right now. And there's plenty of stuff for them to, bring nectar back from. So
yeah, well, we're going to need it. We're running out of honey, by the way.
Yeah.
For the grocery list this week, we need honey.
Okay.
The stuff that we have is getting like, it's like we're right near the bottom of the jar, and it's also getting where it's like crystallizing or whatever that's called. Coagulating, whatever the word
coagulating.
is.
Well, I can tell you this honey's not going to be ready till at least June. I can do like a first harvest and then maybe a second harvest.
Well, no, I know.
We'll
I'm not saying like we're going to get honey now, but like we need to get some from the store. Or we need to go to that market that we like to go to where we get the local honey.
The special market.
The special market. So bees are good. We're thinking maybe a June harvest and a fall.
It really depends. It depends. If we have like a big drought, then probably no. It's going to slow the blooms. But if it's nice and rainy and things are staying in bloom and all the vegetation is healthy, then like theoretically we could, as long as all the other things in the hive are good and they're not stressing about something else like a mite infestation or a beetle infestation.
And then what was the tool that you were telling me about a couple of weeks ago saying like we really need this thing for honey harvest and I'm gonna get it this year?
I don't know. So I don't actually know what it's called either, but basically you pull the frames out, you pull the honey frames out and you put it in this nice cylinder drum and you turn it on and it spins around and it uses centrifugal force to basically pull all the honey out of the frames. Because the way I've always harvested the honey is I just do it manually. And then it's a mess. It takes hours. The bees eventually find me with the goods and they try to reclaim it and it's a disaster. So I think just in terms of maximizing what we can get out of it, cleanliness, and me not getting stung like 8,000 times, I want to get one of those. I don't know what it's called though.
Okay.
Honey extractor, maybe? That sounds like a good name.
We can call it that. Who cares? That's what we'll name it that. Okay, so honey extractor's on the list for the year. Start saving up for that.
It's pricey.
I was going to say we'll start saving up for that.
Did you Google it?
No, but I remember you wanting to get one years ago and being like, it's expensive. And we looked at the price and I was like, yeah, no.
The reason I want it now is because I am so committed, more than I ever have been.
Yeah.
Usually at this point, it's like, all right, let's go buy the hive again because for some reason, like they didn't survive winter or they left in the fall. But dang it, it's
a healthy
going
hive.
Well.
Yeah. You put the time and energy into it. And you're like, I put the time, I put the energy. I deserve to get the tool that's going to make it all worth it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's like me with my pens. I put the time in. I put the energy in. I've stayed committed. Now I'm going to get the nice pen.
You want to talk about that? I'm sure you've talked about it already. You want to talk about your pen?
No, I don't want to talk about my pen.
Oh, okay.
I got to save that for Mandi Wiz. I can't talk to you about my pen. That's
fair. I would not know what's going on.
No, that's too special of a conversation with her.
Sneak peek, though. There's ink in it.
There is ink in it. I think, in talks of my hobbies this week, I went to a needlepoint store grand opening and it was fun. I don't know if I've told you this yet. I had so much willpower at this thing, right? I did buy one canvas. I bought a canvas and it's a canvas that is like, it's essentially two sides. And so you stitch both sides of this, or you stitch two little separate canvases and then you like sew them together. Well, it's really cute and I like it. However, they had 3, and when I tell you 3 different Winnie the Pooh canvases at
Oh
this
my
needlepoint
gosh.
store. 3
That
of
was the
them.
mortgage
I
if
didn't
you had
get
gotten those.
it would have been our mortgage. It would have been. One of them was Winnie the Pooh holding onto the blue balloon and floating through the sky with like little honeybees around him. But it was big. It was like a big canvas. And then there were 2. One of them was probably the size of like a pillow. Like the pillow, like a bed pillow. Like the pillow you and I sleep on every night, you know? Like
Yeah.
big, like a rectangular. It was probably about that size. And it was like Winnie the Pooh and the whole gang, like Eeyore, Tigger, Piglet, Christopher Robin, whatever, Owl. And then there was one that was like twice as that size.
For what?
They didn't have price tags on them. And so,
No, not cost. I mean, what would you use that for? A pillow twice that size?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the like Winnie the Pooh with the balloon and the bees, and then the one that is the size of a pillow were probably like pillows, I would assume. And then I think the big one, I think that's probably something you stitch and then would like hang above a crib or something. Now, who needs kids to hang a Winnie the Pooh thing in their house? Clearly
Yeah,
not
come
me.
on.
But I think that like the really big one you probably stitch and then frame and then hang it. But I don't know. I didn't buy them. I had some willpower. I will say, I think what kind of made me like pause, because when it comes to not only something I'm really into at the moment, like needlepoint, and combining it with Winnie the Pooh, like doing that is like just danger for me. That's like, here, take my money.
Yeah.
But what made me pause was that the background of these were pretty simple. Like it was just like the white background and then like the Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, Eeyore painted on. And I thought, I can do that. I can do that.
I was thinking the same thing. You know,
Like-
I didn't want to pose here, but I thought, you know what, you can do this. You
I
can
could
just
do
make your
that.
own version of it.
Yeah. Like
And if you want to add some other characters in the back or whatever, you can do
Yes.
that and take your creative liberties.
And like the designs were cute, but they didn't look super complicated to actually draw myself. And so I was like, I think I could do this. Like I have the canvas, I have the acrylic paint markers, and I was like, I am so tempted to get these Winnie the Pooh things because they're done. They're right here. I could like start them today. But I said, no, I have the tools that I need to actually do this myself. And I think I'm capable of doing it myself. So I saved us some money. You're welcome.
Thank you. And I think on top of that, more importantly, I think you'll enjoy and appreciate them more if you know that you did that whole thing start to finish.
No, I agree.
You know, put the ink on there on the little, what's that fabric? Let's call it the cloth canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that's challenging itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've watched you do that and I don't know how you do that, but you do it. So
Yeah.
that's a good route for you. Do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to try to do. But the needlepoint store grand opening was a lot of fun. It was so busy. It was so packed. It was super busy, super packed. I got in line and I was probably like the 20th person in the store, maybe I don't know, 15th. But everybody just came in so quickly. It was like it doesn't even matter how early I am in line. Like there were so many people in there. And so it was cute. It was really cute. It was nice to see. You know, we have one existing needlepoint store in the area that has been around for years and years and years. I think decades, genuinely. I think it's been there for like 30 years. And so it's, in my opinion, it's like hard to see business, you know, it's a competitor, but I will say every time I have been into the store that we have had, so busy. And the lady that works in there is so swamped and she's so busy and you can tell she's overwhelmed. And so I want them to continue to succeed and to continue to make a ton of money. But if this can take a little bit of a load off of her plate where it's like, okay, we're making money. This is good, but I can actually enjoy my days and like manage and not just be so stressed all day and overwhelmed. then like good for her, you know?
Yeah, it's like a pressure release valve for them.
Yeah. So I think it'll be good that we have a couple different places now. And there are a few, like there's 2 or 3 more needlepoint stores within an hour of us. Some up in the mountains, some a little bit further east. And I'd really like to go to those sometime, but it's just hard to like commit a day to it, you know?
It's funny you bring up the mountains because I was thinking maybe we get something on the calendar in the next month or two, kind of low stress, trip up there. Maybe a yurt again. Maybe not a yurt.
Yes. No, I literally just said I want to go back to the yurt. I was just going to ask, do you mean for like a day trip or do you mean like an overnight
thing?
Yeah.
I don't think I would want to do those yurts again. Like they were cool, don't get me wrong, but I just specifically getting the stuff to the yurt and back to the car was a pain enough for me that I'd want to find another version of that, or at least just try something else, right? Like we should try something else.
It'd be fun to try something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those were really fun. And I think what I learned from that trip, especially with us just being there one night, we could have taken half the stuff. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It was a pain to like haul that stuff up and down and back and forth to the car because it was like a hike down there. But we didn't need half the stuff that we took. So like I certainly would certainly pack a lot lighter this time than I did.
Well, we pack for this ideal vision of what it's going to be and all the options. And then you realize like time is so finite that you just really want to do maybe 1 or 2 things for the whole time.
Right.
Like I just want to play my Switch, or I just want to journal, or I just want to like stare at the wall and listen to sounds in nature. You know what I mean?
And it's like I didn't need my journal and my Switch and my needlepoint stuff and all of,
Yeah.
And I also didn't need, and we thought it was going to be cold because we're up in the mountains in a yurt. And so we had blankets. We had like sweatshirts and sweatpants and heated blankets. And we brought our like electric blankets. I mean, we brought so much stuff because we thought it was going to be cold. And then it ended up being hot.
We learned and we're better.
We learned and we're better. Yeah. Very true. Okay. I think it is time we get into probably the most exciting topic of the week. And I'm going to say this is the overarching like umbrella topic. Last Friday was officially the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. Tell me about your childhood. Tell me about your experience with Pokemon. I want to hear, just like tell everybody.
How long can this podcast be? No, I'm just kidding.
No, tell everybody like where your love for Pokemon started, the games, the cards, like collecting Pokemon cards, like all of it. Like, I mean, you've been a Pokemon fan since the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think like a lot of people from my generation, like I'm in my 30s, there weren't that many games back then, right? So like any game that came out was sort of like, what's this new game? Like a Game Boy Color. I had a Game Boy Color with Pokemon Red. And like, it was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like this hyperfixation on like getting all these Pokemon and completing the Pokedex, using every pair of AA batteries in my house until they would hide my Game Boy. So like very early on, I was
the like TV.
Yeah. I was a little rascal, but very early on, I was obsessed with the game. And like, I talked to you about this. I was obsessed with the game from like the exploration and completion perspective. And like Pokemon kind of took a turn where it's like really battle heavy now, or it was, or whatever, like, Pokemon Stadium and all like the moves and everyone loves them, gigantic. And to me, I just have never lost sight of Professor Oak's original comment of his life's goal being to complete his Pokedex, but he never got to. And so I've always held on to that sort of like exploration, discovery aspect of Pokemon, and that's what really draws me to it.
And not necessarily the battle and like the
battling
max,
stuff is
the legendary max.
Yeah, like that doesn't really do it for me. For me, it's really like kind of what we were talking about before. Like I like ecology and nature as a system. And if we want to talk about Pokopia, this feels like how I felt playing Pokemon when I was a kid. I haven't felt like this playing a Pokemon game since I was a kid, where you're kind of in this world and you're just really exploring, and it's not about battling. It's not about like challenging other people. It's just sort of being whimsical and going where you want and doing what you want to do. So yeah, that's kind of my origin story with Pokemon. I had Pokemon Red on Game Boy Color.
Okay. And then what Pokemon games have you played growing up? Like you played Red on the Game Boy Color, but then you never played Leaf Green, you never played, like you played really just Red, and then you picked up in the Switch era.
Yeah, I don't want to say I outgrew it, but I moved away from it at that point.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
had
we all go through
cards and
phases in
stuff,
our life where we
but it
do
wasn't
things
because I
and
was
we
like,
don't.
oh, this isn't cool anymore. It was just
Yeah.
like, I don't even think I bought the Pokemon Red cartridge. I think I was given it by a friend. So I wouldn't have even played the game if somebody didn't give it to me. And so I wasn't going to go out and also buy another game in the sequel. I probably didn't even know there was a sequel. I was like,
no,
10.
totally. That's
You
what
know
I was
what I mean? It
gonna
was
say.
just sort of like, I played this game called Pokemon. Oh, wait, they're still making it? You know?
Right, I didn't even know. I think like as a child, and I mean, you were like 7, 8 years old playing this game. And it's like, you don't have, first of all, the 90s, early 2000s, very different in terms of like communication. Like they aren't, they weren't like really playing Pokemon like commercials on Cartoon Network, I don't think. And
yeah,
so
I wasn't
it's like,
watching Pokemon TikToks to like
right,
get me
right.
into it. It
It's
was just like
a different time. And also, I think about this a lot. You didn't like, I don't know about you. I didn't get an allowance as a kid. I wasn't an
Did not.
allowance kid. Like I
Nope.
had chores that I had to do. I had to like help with the dishes. I had to vacuum. I had to, you know, I did what my mom told me to do when she asked me to help clean up and stuff. But I didn't get a weekly allowance or anything. And so it's like, by no means did I have the cash to even buy a game. If I had wanted a game, it would be like, okay, it is April and I want this game. I'm going to have to wait until my birthday or Christmas and then ask for it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, and that's even if I know about it. So I think that, like, I totally get what you're saying in terms of like, that was like one of your favorite games. And I feel like I kind of was the same way with Mario. Like, Super Mario 64 is one of my favorite games of all time. And I loved Super Mario on the 64. I ended up playing it on the DS as well. But then after that, I didn't play any Mario games. Like I didn't play
Luigi's. It's not like you didn't think it wasn't cool or anything. You just had played that game. That was the experience you had, and you just like.
Yeah. Like Super Mario 64 is what like I think made me appreciate games and like call myself a gamer. Like that's what made me fall in love with video games. But I didn't play Luigi's Mansion. I didn't play Super Mario Galaxy. I didn't play Super Mario Sunshine. I didn't have the consoles. I didn't have the money to buy the games. I was a child. And so it's like it was such a pivotal, like huge part of my childhood, but that doesn't mean I played every game in the series by any means.
100%. Yeah, like I'm no expert on Pokemon. Trust me. I couldn't sit here and list all the original 150. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I was a kid, I had Red on the Game Boy Color. I had cards, which I still have those cards now. I found them in the last like 5 years, and man, they're destroyed. Like I knew they were cool back then with the holographic cards and stuff, but I wish somebody would have just taken them from me and been like, you can have these in 20 years. Because I have all kinds of, and they're not great. They're like from the Fossil set. So it's not like the original, you know, shadowless cards, but still, like those would have been nice to have in good condition. I got like hollow Laprases tearing from the seams and Hitmonlee with a scratch down the middle, you know, so it's a disaster. But it's like those are the relics of the past. And so like that's how I enjoyed that. And that's how I experienced that. It was so like raw and unfiltered.
But I also think that like even if someone had ripped those out of your hands as a kid and been like, put them in a case, don't touch them, and had given, now 20 years later they'd be worth all that money, but they're still sentimental to you. You're not going to sell them.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
So it's like now you can look back and be like, okay, I really got to enjoy those as a kid, and you can look back at those and be like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. There's so many scratches in them. Like they were well loved, well used. I'm not going to be selling them for money anyway. So
yeah.
At least now, like I'm looking, I literally can see in my office closet right now, and I see you have this little like plastic red toolbox that has Pokemon stickers all over the outside of it, and you just like stuck Pokemon stickers on the outside of this like little child toolbox that is full of Pokemon stuff.
It's a Pokemon themed thing. Like it's from the company. I get
the
Pokemon
toolboxes?
company. Yeah, like it's Pokemon branded. It's got like little engraved Pokeballs on it. It's nuts. But yeah, like I played that, and then I also played Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium on my friend's N64 as a kid, and then, geez, what else? That's probably it.
Then you picked up. I mean, you played
Oh,
Let's Go,
Arceus.
Arceus. Did you
No,
play
I didn't
Let's
play
Go?
Let's Go. I didn't
No.
play Let's Go. You had it, and I sort of
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, cool, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Arceus was another one of those ones that I said, hey, this is actually a really good interpretation of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that they decided to make a game focused on the history and the origin story of the relationship between humans and Pokemon. I feel like that's something that just doesn't really get talked about. It's not explored. Again, it's about battling, blah, blah, blah. I loved the fact that Arceus took a lore focused approach. It just fell flat completely because the world was so, I mean, there was literally, the ground was green for grass and there was no actual grass. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was such a flat, empty feeling world. So let's move to Pokopia, I think, right?
No, not yet.
Because
No,
no?
not yet. No, I want to talk about Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Oh, okay. All right.
I do. Listen, I know you're like, oh,
That was like 1 week.
I know, but okay. So last Friday, we're recording this on Friday. Last Friday, a week ago, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green re-released for the Nintendo Switch. They were originally released on the Game Boy Advance in like 2003, I think. And they re-released, they were ported onto the Switch for $20 each. And you got Fire Red, Mandy Wiz got Fire Red, I got Leaf Green. And I basically what these games are, to my interpretation, is like a remake of the original red, blue, green games, but just a little bit more modernized with like, I don't know, graphics that were like 7 years older, and it was color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the menus are different, and like the way you
mm-hmm. But the like
interact with
story
things is a little bit
itself is
different.
the same.
The story is the same.
Yeah. And so as someone who, I have never really played a Pokemon game, I like dabbled in Let's Go Eevee, and I think I played like 1 day of that. I don't know. I've really never committed to a Pokemon game and actually played it. I've like loved watching you play. I love watching Mandy Wiz play. I love watching you guys open cards. Like I have a lot of fun with it. Like I've played a lot of Pokemon Go. But
Mhm.
I've never really like played an actual like console game. So I bought Leaf Green, started it, and I am having so much fun with it. Like even now, like we're gonna talk about Pokopia in a second, and like that's a whole thing in itself. But like I don't want to forget about Leaf Green and the simplicity of Leaf Green and the like joy that Leaf Green has brought me this past week. Because
I was thinking about that at work today. I was like, you really liked that. And I did too, right? I had never played this. It was nice playing a remastered version, getting to play it on the TV. But I was like, I just RIP Leaf Green Fire Red, because do you really think that you're going to keep playing this game when now you have Pokopia?
I don't know.
It's going to be tough.
It will be
I would
tough.
love to think I will, but come on.
I know. It will
What do
be
I
tough.
want to do as soon as this is over?
I know.
Right,
I know. I want to go sit on the couch and play Pokopia.
And that's probably what we're going to do. Maybe with a pizza? Anyway.
I kind of want sushi.
Okay.
But anyway, Rowan was running around with his little sushi toy earlier, and I was like, man, I kind of want sushi. Anyway, so I think that like Leaf Green and Pokopia, very different games, very different styles. I feel a lot less committed to like, if I'm going to sit down and I only have like 10, 15 minutes to play a game, Leaf Green.
100%.
Probably.
I agree. Airport, Leaf Green.
Leaf Green. But if I'm going to like sit down for like an evening gaming session, we have a couple hours, Pokopia. So I think they like, I really appreciate them both, and I'm really liking Leaf Green, and I like the origin story, and I like that I'm getting to know the Pokemon universe, and like I'm battling in a way that feels very low stakes. Like I understand it probably gets harder, but it feels low stakes. Like it doesn't feel super challenging. And I'm liking it so far. So I'm still excited about that. And I think that I will continue to play it.
It's fun for me too, because I had that original experience with like the first games that released in the United States, and you didn't you didn't have that the same way. So like when you've seen me get Pokemon cards throughout the years or like talk about it, it's sort of, I don't want to say fallen flat, but like you don't have that backstory or that context,
I
even
just don't
from
have the
like
like
Let's Go
nostalgia with it.
Eevee.
Yeah.
You're right. So, I mean, forget the nostalgia, but just like the understanding of like, hey, this is what it was. Like, this is
Yeah.
how we all saw it. It was this like very basic game. You
Yeah.
know, there
And
really wasn't much to it when you think about it. It's gotten way more creative. The universe is massive. There's all kinds of games and angles and ways that you can experience Pokemon. But like to sit there on the couch and have you play that version that's like almost like the original and to like answer your questions and to see you kind of like work your way through like the 5,000 trainers in Mount Moon that keep stopping you and wanting to battle with their like 6 Pidgeys. That's fun for me to watch.
yeah.
Like I like that. And then
Yeah.
I think it makes you appreciate the more modern games too, like Pokopia.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Final thing before we move into Pokopia. We did last week during the Pokemon Presents get an announcement for the 2027 game release of Pokemon Wind and Waves. What are your thoughts after watching that trailer?
I mean, do you have a time machine? Because I would love to run out there, grab it, and come back. I'm really excited. I said this right after I saw that trailer. It looks like Arceus, how it should have been. You know, like that open world, sort of explore, be in the environment with things, but it had depth to it. There was different biomes that looked interesting. So I'm super excited. And I think they really timed the release of that well with Pokopia because like there's so much hype around this game now. Like
Right.
I don't even know if I'm going to be done playing Pokopia by the time that game comes out. So
Right.
good on them from a marketing angle.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I know that a
What do
lot
you
of people
think?
are like, really? 2027? No, I think it looks good too. I know that it's not a Legends game. So there's like Legends Arceus, there's Legends ZA, and those are the ones that are like that style of running around. I think you like the vibe of Arceus better because it feels like more like countryside, historic, whereas like Legends ZA is like a modern city. And so I think that like obviously different vibes for you. And I it's not one of those. It's more like a Sword and Shield or Scarlet Violet type of game, which I know Mandy Wiz is going to be super super excited about. And so I'm sure I'll play it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure I will. I'm becoming more and more of a Pokemon fan by the day.
Good.
Yeah.
We can go get some Pokemon booster boxes tomorrow.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, Pokopia first thoughts. I will say I played on stream for about 8 hours. And then I played last night for an additional couple hours. So I think I probably have like 10, 11, 12 hours in the game so far. And you had the opportunity to play yesterday a little bit. How many, you think you probably have like 4 hours in? 3, 4 hours?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5, maybe.
Okay. What are your first thoughts?
I mean, I really like it. What's not to like? You know, it's everything that I like in a Pokemon game. It's like I can't, this exploration word's getting burned out, but like that's really what it is. I also like that. Is his name Tanglegrowth, the professor?
Tangrowth.
He's like, Tangrowth. He's like encouraging you in the text to just like take it at your own pace. He's like, by the way, you don't even have to do this Pokemon Center thing right now if you don't want to. Just vibe out, do whatever you want, go explore, invite new Pokemon in. I really enjoy it. What do you think? I mean, obviously you played it on stream for 8 hours and even more after that. Like it has to be a compelling game for you.
It is. And I think that it was one of those things that like I had absolutely no, like yesterday was it was supposed to be a normal like 9 to 2 stream. And I ended up streaming until like 4:30 because I just was having so much fun with the game. And like, that's how I'm like in it, I'm like so excited. I'm like, I lose track of time. I don't even know what's going on. I forgot to eat yesterday. It was like 4:30 and I hadn't had lunch and I didn't even realize I was hungry. And then, I played it after stream. And then this morning I woke up and the first thing I thought of was Pokopia. And I was like, I just want to go sit on the couch and play Pokopia. And I have not had this feeling since Animal Crossing with a game.
Yeah,
where
that's
it's
a
like,
good sign.
I wake up and that's like what I want to go do,
Yeah, it's a good sign.
And it's a good sign. And I'm really excited about it. I will say like, I do. I think I have. I think I have, and I've talked, I think, to you about this and Mandy was about this, and I think I've talked about it on stream, but like I have some insecurities about how much I'm loving it and like becoming such a big fan of it when I wasn't like the biggest Pokemon fan. Like I like Leaf Green. I played Pokemon Go. I have some cards. I've watched you open cards. I've watched you play games. Like I've watched some of the show, but like I kind of feel like a poser being like, "Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this game," when like I don't have the same nostalgic connection to it that a lot of people do. So I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
we
I'm
all feel that way. That's not
yeah,
fair. Like, also, it's not an exclusive experience.
I
Like,
know.
yeah, hop on the bandwagon whenever you want. I feel the same way when we were talking about. I played the original games, and then I went and lived life for 20 years, and now I am buying cards again, and now I play Pokemon games again. Like, there's a whole window.
Yeah.
The vast majority of Pokemon's timeline, I completely disassociated with, and it had nothing to do with.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm right there with you. It's just a different level of feeling like an imposter or whatever, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw that away. That's,
I know. And
what
I
a
think
perfect time to jump in and just embrace it. Like, if you
yeah,
love it, just love it. You're loving it. It's
I
honest. It's
am.
real. Like,
And I think what is I think what the goal was probably like Nintendo's goal in this is to bring in those cozy gamers like me who don't love a battle game. Like they want the exploration, to say the word again. They want the like cozy, they want the slow pace, they want the building, they want the decorating, the terraforming, and
hmm
in a way that like they didn't necessarily like the battling in ZA, or and I know that there's a lot of people who like both. Um and there's
and
certainly
that's okay.
games that I like a little bit more fast paced, right? But yeah, I think there's probably going to be a lot of people like me who are getting deeper into the Pokemon universe than they ever were because of the style of this game. Um and so as much as I feel like kind of like a fraud, I truly am loving it. And so I'm like trying to talk myself out of that like
Yeah,
mindset.
dude. That's yeah. You're golden. Don't even worry about it.
I
Just
know.
fully embrace it. Really. I mean, it's awesome. Like, I like that you like it so authentically because it's just makes it more fun for me. Right. Like,
Mhm.
we can kind of talk about it. What are you doing over here? What are you doing over here? I will say though, like, after playing this game for what, 4 or 5 hours, it is it was not pitched, but kind of everyone thought like, oh, it's like Animal Crossing kind of in Minecraft, but for Pokemon. And like, that's kind of true, but it's really its own thing. It does feel like very Pokemon-y. It doesn't feel like a lot of recycled content. It doesn't feel like they stole a Minecraft concept, or it doesn't feel like they stole the Animal Crossing concepts.
Mhm.
Um, it really does feel like its own unique thing. I will say though, for me personally, it feels like a little bit of Animal Crossing, a little bit of Minecraft, obviously a lot of bit of Pokemon. But for me, it also feels like this game called Viva Pinata that I played on Xbox years ago.
Mhm. I was just
There is a very specific mechanism going on in the game where it's all about analyzing the environment and figuring out like what you want to attract, and then you make that thing happen to bring the Pokemon in.
Yep.
And that's exactly what that game was. So like,
Mhm.
this is the perfect game for me.
Yes.
It
So
scratches every itch for me.
so our friend Erratic Genius said the exact same thing yesterday. He said,
Really?
"This is Viva Pinata." And
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah,
great.
when people were coming in to stream yesterday and asking about it, I would say like, "What's the vibe? How are you liking it? What would you compare it to?" I was saying it was like a blend of Viva Pinata and Animal Crossing and Minecraft and Pokemon. And so
Yeah,
I was
gosh,
literally
yes.
saying Viva Pinata yesterday. So that's so funny that you said that because Erratic brought that up. I've never played Viva Pinata, but it's one of Erratic's favorite games.
Yeah, it's
Um,
great. Good
yeah,
erratic.
he
Yeah.
loves it. He loves Viva Pinata. And so he was saying yesterday that it's so much like Viva Pinata. And I was like, you know what? Because I watched him play it one time and I was like, you know what? It is.
Dude, you know
Um,
what's so awesome about this game too is when I talked about why I liked the original Pokemon so much, it was about exploring and completing the Pokedex and like going to these different places and being like, oh wow, here's an Abra. Abra's nowhere else in the map. Like, just these fun ways to engage with all the different kinds of Pokemon. That is this game on steroids. So like, the feeling of bringing the Pokedex to life through these environments is so awesome. Like, I obviously haven't mastered doing that. It's so confusing. I have like straw beds everywhere and I can't figure out how to manage my space, but it feels so close to like what I wanted in a full-fledged game for Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah. It's like, what is there anything missing, you know, in like a game that you would have picked out? I think I completely agree. I think you and I and probably all of the gamers out there, cozy gamers, non-cozy gamers alike who are playing this game are like, wow, this is a cluster of just stuff. Like, there is no organization here. And I think that the cozy gamers specifically who really like decorating are going to be like, how the heck do I make these Pokemon happy and add decor and relaxation and toy that they're requesting, but like make it cute and aesthetic?
I'm waiting for the Pokopia quote unquote island tour videos to come out on YouTube.
Gosh,
I can't wait. People are so creative with this stuff, and it has the same kind of Animal Crossing style.
Yeah.
So people are gonna run with it.
People are gonna run with it. There's gonna be, and with like like Animal Crossing had terraforming, but like very limited. The terraforming in this game, the like Minecraft ability, like you don't have to pay anybody to unlock ramps or whatever. You know, I can't
Dodo
even.
bird.
I can't even imagine how. I don't know what we're calling these worlds, islands.
I have no clue.
Whatever they are, like, I don't know. I can't even imagine how cool some of these people are going to make their games and their
For
worlds.
me, I was thinking about this. I'm running into this issue where I have this starter area, right, where you start, and
the wasteland.
Just as an example, everyone knows, I'm sure, that's played for a few hours. There's that little pond that's right there, where that first crafting table is, that comes from the waterfall. Like, I want to make that the way I want it to look. But the issue that I'm running into is when I go to place like 4 things of grass, it recognizes it as a potential home for something to spawn. And so like, I want to be able to build the way I want something to look without it triggering Pokemon to just automatically spawn. So I'm sure somebody's going to have a creative way to do that. Like, can I put like 8 pieces of grass down and it not automatically say, oh, this is 2 homes for tall grass by the water, we're going to automatically spawn Pokemon? I just want things to aesthetically exist without necessarily
having
being
to be
locked
functional.
into, hey, come inspect so a Pokemon appears.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue. But you might be able to just ignore it and not let the Pokemon, like, not go up to the Pokemon. Because it's like the rustling grass, and you might just have to like have some rustling grass and just ignore the rustling grass.
It feels like an overbearing neighbor. Like, I just want to exist sometimes in my house and just like build this area out, put the grass and the trees and the flowers wherever. And then I've got these Pokemon constantly knocking on my door like, hey, who is that? And I'm like, damn it, I didn't. I just wanted the flowers there. I didn't necessarily want the owl asking for a straw bed right next to the flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're going to, I've started over the last, like late last night, and then the little bit that I played this morning, exploring some little extra areas. And I think that we're going to have a lot more space. I don't know how many Pokemon are in this game. So I'm making an assumption right now based off of like the Pokemon that I've seen so far. But I'm like, man, I think we're going to have some space. I think we'll be okay. But I also don't know how many are in the game. So I'm feeling like optimistic about the amount of space that we have, because there's a lot of world that I feel like I haven't seen. And there's a lot of world that I have seen that I have to like take advantage of and use the space as, use the space up. So we'll see. I'm excited, but I have no clue how many Pokemon are going to be in this dang game.
I love all the unknowns.
I really hope there's a Teddy Ursa.
I'm sure there is.
Who do you want to see in the game? Is there any Pokemon that you're like,
I've seen them all. Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander. Yeah, like, to me, that's the people I rocked with in the beginning. So just their goofy little personalities strutting around and watching them interact with different Pokemon that, like, Timber, right? Timber's a great example. I have no connection with that Pokemon, but he's one of the first ones to show up. And then like watching him interact with one of the first Pokemon, Charmander, and them getting along and saying, "Oh, I really like him," you know, blah 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 blah
Mhm.
blah. It's funny. It's so
And then
goofy.
like them running around playing together or like laughing. Um, I told you this last night. I was loading the dishwasher and we were chatting about Pokopia. But my unexpected favorite Pokemon so far from Pokopia is Scyther. Am I saying that right?
And that's shocking to me.
Scyther.
I say Scyther. This is
Scyther.
another one of those imposter moments. I say Scyther.
No, I think it's Scyther. I think you're right.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Scyther is my favorite Pokemon.
Tell me why.
One, he's not like vibe wise my vibe. He's like big and has sharp hands and is like not, in my opinion,
hands.
not cute. He's not like, oh, cute, you know, like Bulbasaur and Charmander and Squirtle, they're cute. Where Scyther is not like cute, in my opinion. But so of course I was like, oh my gosh, ugh. And I immediately, like, as soon as I saw him, was like, ugh, not my vibe, whatever. Like, of course I'm still gonna talk to him and like build his habitat and help him, whatever. But he wasn't my vibe. But then I started talking to him and he was like, yeah, I think it's really important that you talk to all the Pokemon and get to know them because people are so helpful in their own ways. And I was like,
Yeah.
You're right, buddy. I really like the way he said that. Like whatever he said,
He changed your mind.
Whatever that dialogue was, he was like, you got to give people a chance because they'll really change your mind and you can see how helpful they are. And I was like, I judged you. And then you said that to me. But then he's useful. Then I find out that he turns my logs into lumber.
Mm-hmm.
And you just deliver him some logs and he gets right to work chopping up those logs and turning them into lumber for you. And
yeah.
He's useful. He's wise and he's useful. And I think that's what is so nice about this game is that the Pokemon are helpful. They help you build. They are useful. They teach you moves. They teach you things. I'm just really liking it.
It feels like a real world. It really does. Watching them interact, because sometimes they don't have always amenable or interactions. Like you see question marks and maybe like a darting look, and then they kind of walk away from each other. So it feels like a real world. And then I love the fact that they all have kind of like these accents and the ways that they speak.
Yeah. They
like
all kind of have like,
I did not expect that.
No, they all have like their different lingo, like the different way they talk. Like there's like the yo yo yo, and then there's someone who's
hey y'all.
Yeah, hey y'all. And so
the whale.
I think they all have like different personalities. Did you get Magikarp?
I did.
Okay,
I did, yeah.
Magikarp.
I haven't done anything with them yet, but
and Kyogre. Kyogre is like the big whale.
Couldn't be different. Couldn't be more different.
So different. But I think that's what's so funny is that like Magikarp was like, yo, buddy. And then Kyogre was like, y'all, and like sounded kind of Southern. And I just think that like, that's so funny that they it wasn't just like blanket conversations. It's not just like the same way of speaking for everybody. I think it's like so fun that they added that like diversity in there, and so everybody's a little bit different, everybody's got like their own character, and I just think that makes the game so much more I don't know, like interesting and fun.
Right. It gives it depth.
Yeah.
It feels like a rich environment. I want to go back and change my answer. Yes, I'm happy about the Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, but I was obsessed with the legendary birds when I was a kid, like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. Those would be really cool.
Okay.
Those would be really cool.
I will say, if you hear big flapping wings, look up.
And I did. And I got one of those puppies on the ground and burnt my hand first before I figured out what to do. I guess we won't spoil it. Probably doesn't matter.
Would you run into a campfire or something?
No. It's the feather's on fire.
Oh.
And so I just walked up to it, tried to grab it, got burnt, used my little water gun, toot, 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 and then got the feather.
Oh, good.
But this is an example of this is an example of where I just really disconnected from the game forever, because that bird, like I know that bird, but it was not part of my experience in the game. And so you were like, oh, what's its name? Ho-Oh,
yeah.
Right. We sound real smart. That bird.
But to me,
it didn't mean much. I was like, I know this means a lot, but to me, cool, nice. Thanks for the feather.
Yeah.
So.
But they're still,
I'll
yeah,
be yeah.
they're still cool. I'm sure we're gonna get a
Yeah,
lot of
really
cool
cool.
birds. I will say, I was running around this morning a little bit. I played a little bit this morning, and I was running around doing my thing. I don't know what I was doing, fixing paths or something kind of menial. And I heard foom, 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 foom. And I was like, what's going on? And I just kept like going about my business. I was like, I wonder what that is. No clue. And it didn't register until like right as the bird was like flying over the mountaintop where I was going to not be able to see it anymore. And I
Yeah.
don't think it was ho oh.
Really?
It felt like a different one to me. Um so I don't know, maybe it was. Maybe it was but it didn't drop any flaming feathers that I saw.
I don't think it does every time because
No?
I've heard it multiple times, and that was the first time I saw anything
Huh.
from it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was the same bird. It felt like it looked to me like it was a different color, but all that to say, I need to just start looking up more.
Yeah, I want to get good at this game. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but for whatever that means in my limited understanding of what this game is, I want to get good at it. I kind of want to lock in on this game.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make a cool universe, world, island, whatever we're going to call this thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect game for you. It adds in that like Pokemon nostalgia that you love, and then like you said, the habitats and the world building, and like you love Minecraft. You've loved
Hmm.
Minecraft for years and years. You played it in college, and then you've played you've played Minecraft on and off for what, the past like 15 years?
Jeez, yeah, that's actually probably true now at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like it gives that same like you love mine you love Minecraft, you love Pokemon, you love and I think you've also since you and I started dating back in 2018 have become a cozy gamer, and you've like played cozy games, and I think Minecraft certainly can be considered a cozy game, which you played way before, you know, meeting me. Um but now you play Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, and you've really like leaned into some more of the cozy games and found a lot of like love for those like that genre. And so I think this is like a perfect blend for you.
Yeah, it feels really low commitment. I like that in games because everything else in life is very scheduled and this and that and move to this and got to do this by then. And
Mhm.
I like games where you just, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's just a game. It is just a game.
Yeah.
Enjoy it for what it is.
Mhm. Yeah, I completely agree. I have a lot of fun with it, and I'm hopeful. Um do you have any, speaking of Minecraft, do you have any, this is hard because like we're just talking about Pokopia and like really diving into that game, but like do you have any pull towards Minecraft or to play Minecraft?
Minecraft is always there, but I'm about to get probably less busy in life in the next few months here, so I'll probably dip my toes back in there. But I am very seasonal Minecrafting.
Mhm.
Like it's a very much like a fall winter game for me, and we're coming out of that. So
I know.
I may find a way to get reinvigorated while it's hot for the next few months. But
Mhm. I feel like I am
um,
too. I feel like I'm typically more like a fall winter Minecrafter as well, but I don't know what about this last year. I just felt like we were so busy. I just and
yeah,
life's never
100%.
going to slow down. It's like it's not like we're going to be like, "Oh, life just
Yeah.
goes faster and faster and faster." Um but this last year in particular, I feel like we just were so busy with stuff.
I will say though, I do like the fact that we have a server that people enjoy playing on. I wish I could play on it more. Like I really do,
Me too.
legitimately. But it's
It
just
brings
like,
me
gosh, it's just
I think that makes like more than anything like makes me like that's where I want to go because I know people have spent so much time in that server and have built such incredible things in that server and have so much fun playing together in that server, and it um like I have absolutely no desire to play Minecraft in like any of like
like a
my own
single
just
player world.
no,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
desire. I don't want to play Minecraft by myself. Like what makes me wanna play is, like, that we have a server that so many buddies play on, and so many buddies are, like, building stuff and running around and going on adventures together, um, and so I agree completely.
yeah. I would love to be involved in some of the adventures there, but yeah, I can't commit the time on a regular basis to just
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah, I think you and I both feel I don't know if it's just, like, the way we game, it's like we can't just like pop in and play like once a
Yeah,
month,
I don't.
I
Yeah, it
feel
doesn't.
like you and I are both very like, we dive into a game and we go all in and like it's all we do. And I wish I don't wish I wasn't like that, but I wish I was somewhere in the middle where I could like, yeah, pop in maybe once a week or like once a month and it's fine, but not like have to feel like if I'm not playing for 5 hours every day that it's like not good enough, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I hear you. That's just how we are in life, though.
I know. We really go in on something.
Like, dude, when I think of Minecraft, I think of like lighting candles from like a candle haul in October, and then maybe we like got soup for lunch or we're getting soup for dinner, and
Mhm.
like that we only take breaks to eat,
Mhm.
and it's just raining. Like
Mhm.
that's Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, do you want to go to the beach this weekend and then go play Minecraft? It just doesn't
It's like a yeah.
work in my
It's
head.
like we need candles and blankies and cozies
Yeah.
and like a fresh loaf of bread with some butter and
Oh
like
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean. It's like a cave mushroom but non-cave mushroom.
Yeah.
Not it doesn't have to be cave mushroom. Okay. Well, I think anything else Pokemon? Anything else you need to say there? You good?
I love it, but I think we just need to play more and learn more.
I
And you
agree.
can just talk about it with Mandy for here on out.
Okay. I'm excited to talk to her about it next week.
Yeah.
Because I haven't talked to her about it at all. I know that she played last night because I saw her little on the Nintendo Switch while I was playing. I saw Mandy, Pokemon Pokopia. And so I was like, oh, she got on. And then she didn't text me back for a couple of hours. And then she replied finally and said, wow, I was really deep in Pokopia.
Oh,
So
dude, yeah. Last thing on that for me, I realized I didn't pick my phone up for 4 hours straight last night.
heck yeah.
I was like, what time is it? And it was like 10:30. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we got to go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, you can lose some time in that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to talk to her about that. Last couple of things that I'm just gonna kind of talk to you about. One of them you're gonna have no clue. But we're supposed to be right now, actually, in about 5 minutes, going to see a movie, Hoppers, new Disney movie
We can
called
still make it.
Hoppers. Yeah, it starts in 5 minutes. So probably not. Thank you, Movie Pass. I only had to pay $2 to book those, so at least we're not, at least we didn't pay, $30 for tickets and then not go. We paid $2. But and then those lucky people sitting on either side of us get some empty seats next to them. We made
Maybe
their
that's why
day.
that last movie was so empty. People like us right now.
Right, not being able to show
Remember
up.
we went and we were like, why are we in the front row?
Mhm.
And the thing was
Yeah.
empty.
We went to a movie a couple weeks ago that it was completely jam-packed. The only seats in the theater that were available were in the front row, and we were not excited. Like, the front row at a movie theater stinks.
It wasn't that bad.
We were like,
It
let's
wasn't
just
that
book
bad.
it. No, it wasn't terrible, but we were like, let's just book it anyway. They're recliner seats, so hopefully, like, being reclined will help even more. And we're not gonna have our like necks kinked up the whole time. And then like less than half the theater was full.
Yeah.
Like, it must have been people who bought tickets and then just didn't go. But we still and I'm too nervous to go sit in someone else's seat and then have them walk in halfway through the movie and be like, you're in my seat. That's my worst nightmare. Even though, of course, they weren't coming in halfway through the movie. But anyway, we were going to go see Hoppers, and I'm excited about that. Do you remember Hoppers, or were you just going to go tonight just willy-nilly because I booked the tickets?
I was going to go willy-nilly, but I did look it up, and then I immediately was like, oh, it's the beaver impersonation movie, the beaver switcheroo movie, Freaky Friday with beavers, whatever it is.
I think it's like Avatar, but with beavers.
Okay, Avatar.
It's like
I like Freaky Friday.
Yeah. I don't think the beaver becomes the human.
That is an untold story. They should make that the sequel.
That
anyway.
that should be Hoppers too. Yeah, I don't think the beaver becomes the human, but the person becomes a beaver. I think, I don't know, but I'm excited to see it. It looks silly and fun. And so I booked these seats literally like a week and a half ago because it's like I think this is opening weekend for the movie, and I was really excited to see it. And so I got us some really good seats right in the middle of the theater, like really good recliners at a good time. And then it just like didn't work with our schedule and recording the podcast and you getting home from work and everything. So
And we gotta play Pokopia. So
we got to
like
play
obviously,
Pokopia. I don't really want to leave Miles. We're just like, whatever,
yeah,
priorities.
we're
So
being flexible is what we're
we're
being.
being flexible and we'll go see the movie and we'll maybe Sunday or something,
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
we'll see.
Hmm.
Maybe we should go to like tomorrow night when like it's not a bunch of kids. Maybe we go to like a 9:00 showing.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
Let's figure out dinner first.
Yeah, sushi. Okay. Last but not least, and I have to talk about this because any of our friends here who are big readers would be upset if I didn't. So, husband, Sarah J. Maas was on the Call Her Daddy podcast this week. And she announced it was a big long episode. She talked all about her. So Sarah J. Maas is an author who has written 3 series: ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, Crescent City, and Throne of Glass. I have read all 3 of them. Throne of Glass, she started writing when she was 16 years old. And it's a
Am I allowed to ask how old she is now?
I think
Do we
she's in
know?
her like late 30s.
Okay, so this has been going on forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she released the Throne of Glass series first, and I didn't read those until like a year ago. I started reading those like a year and a half ago, maybe, and I read the series. I'm on the last book right now, and I'm just refusing to finish it because I don't want the series to end. But she wrote that series, and that was published first, and I never read those. However, in 2019, we were already living together. I read her series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and the last book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series that she released came out in 2022. No, I think it was 21. A Court of Silver Flames came out in 2021, I think. So it's been 5 years since we've gotten a book in this series. And we know it's not over. Throne of Glass. I know, you look shocked. Throne of Glass.
Oh my goodness.
Throne of Glass series is completed. It's done. We're not getting any more books there. Crescent City, we have gotten like 2 new books over the last 5 years from that series. And then ACOTAR, we haven't gotten anything in the last 5 years. So she announced 2 books from the ACOTAR series. Yeah. Number 6.
Do we have titles?
And number
or
7.
Or just numbers?
Nope. We don't have titles yet. We don't have cover art yet. But the first book, well, not the first of 2 to be released, number 6, will come out October 7th of 2026. So, about 6 months. No, I don't know math. Yeah, 6 months from now, 7 months from now.
Good enough. Good enough.
And then a few months later, January 12th, she's releasing the 7th book. Wild.
How do you?
That
is impressive.
We haven't
That's
gotten.
impressive.
She already has them both written. They're both done. She's working. It's like. Basically, she said it's like a set of 3, kind of like it's all a part of that ACOTAR series, but these are like a 3 kind of story. And she's got the first 2 done. She's releasing them and then working on the 3rd right now. So I'm super duper excited, and I haven't pre-ordered them yet. I know Mandi did. I was talking to her. She pre-ordered them from Barnes & Nobility. I have not pre-ordered them yet because I just don't want. I want to like see if there's going to be any like special edition like sprayed edges or like special edition versions from like different bookstores.
So why would that preclude you from wanting to pre-order? Couldn't you do both? Or
well, I just don't know if like sometimes with like the sprayed edges and stuff with like the special edition versions of the book, they are like a separate ISBN or whatever. So you have to like, or it's like different versions are available at different retailers. Like if I think if I were to just like pre-order it and say, heck it, whatever, I don't care, I'd probably just get it from Barnes & Noble or Amazon. But Barnes & Noble ships the books in a safer manner. But like Target, for example, remember when did I make you go with me? I think I did.
I don't know.
To get the sprayed edges version of Onyx Storm. So
is this a black book with gold?
Yep.
Sprayed edges.
Dragons on the side. Yeah.
I remember it. I don't think I was there, but I know of it. I know of this book.
Yeah. So Like, that was only available at Target. And so I just don't want to buy the book like 4 times. I don't want to have like 4 different copies of the book.
Well, which one are you going to actually read, right? You're not going to read the limited edition one, right?
That's
You're
true.
going to put that on the shelf.
That's
So
true.
you got to have a functional one anyway, unless you just want the e-copy.
No, that's true.
Like a Kindle version or whatever.
Yeah. No, I like a
So you
hard
might as well
copy.
get on the list.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I ought to. So these are certainly like the most highly anticipated books of the year. And we just found that out on, I think it was Tuesday night that she announced that. And then it's going to mean, I'm not going to talk about it because it's going to mean absolutely nothing to you, but like we got a lot of like lore, we got a lot of story, we got a lot of clues as to like what these books could be about and like what's going to happen and like character arcs and like, are they going to get a redemption arc? Are they going to, so I think it was a very good, I think
How
it
do
was
you
a
get these
very good
clues?
interview. Just with like what the author was saying.
The interview.
The
interview.
The interviewer asked her and she was, some questions she didn't answer and some she did. So it was interesting. So I'm really excited to read these books.
Well, I'm happy for everybody that reads these and reads in general.
Yeah.
It'll be nice.
These are what you would call my
spice books.
Yeah. My fairy spice.
The elf books.
The elf books, that's what you say.
The woodland elves.
The woodland elves. Those are your spicy woodland elves. And I say, yes, leave me alone.
Woodland elves. Up to no good again.
So yeah, you're not a reader. Not a reader.
I am not a reader. I read instructions and ingredients. That's about it.
I think you read, but you are like, you get interested in something. You do a lot of nonfiction reading, but like nonfiction on the internet reading. Like you will be like, oh, I'm super interested in like some random thing. And then you'll read for hours and hours and hours on your phone about that thing. And you'll like read
like every
articles and like all the Wikipedias and you'll read all this stuff about this thing that you're interested in. But it's just like a different type of reading, like you don't read for funsies, I guess. I guess that's fun, but like it's also educational.
It's fun because it's not like institutionally educational, but it is fun to learn that way when you're legitimately interested. Yeah, it's just curiosity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, husband.
Wife.
That's all I got.
We did it again.
Thank you so much for filling in for Mandi. I know this. I was pulling your leg, pulling your arm. I don't know what it's called.
Pulling teeth,
pulling your finger,
pulling cables out of the closet.
Yeah,
20 minutes before.
It's not always the easiest to do this, and I know that like you enjoy the content creation, but you enjoy the backside of content creation. You enjoy being a part of like the technical side of things, not necessarily doing it yourself.
That is true.
So I appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone and doing this with me. And I know that everyone else does as well. And I know Mandi appreciates you filling in for her this week. So thank you. Thank you for yapping. Thank you for letting me do my annual grill you on things that are happening.
Well, thanks for believing in me. It was good to be here. And I will just say, side note, appreciate everybody who's been a part of Teddy's journey and belongs to the community. And it's been a real pleasure watching over the years. So I guess we'll do another check-in this time next year.
We're getting sappy now. Okay. Okay. Love you. I'll see you.
Love you.
Very
see you
shortly.
In 2 minutes.
I'll see you. Not even. I'll see you very shortly. And we'll get dinner sorted. Okay. Thank you everyone for listening, and we will talk to you. I will talk to you with Mandi next week. Bye.
See ya.